Hey, how's it going today? And welcome out to the Ritchie Coliseum where we will be seeing a semifinal Tier 1 game between the UGA Bulldogs and the Princeton Tigers. This is going to be an amazing matchup. I'm Izzy Falk alongside my co-host here, Donnie
Deutsch. I'm here. Welcome to the game. We'll get into some keys to the game in a little bit. But for now, Princeton off to an early start, attempting a wing three.
It's Jacob Davis.
Jacob Davis, number 6, captain of this team. Here's number 2, Ben Zinker on the wing. William Cohen. Cohen looking to get something. Oh, back to Drapkin. Drapkin, the star player for Princeton, averaging 16.5 this tournament. No good.
The three misses. And the rebound goes to Carson Bell. Carson's been one of the star players for this Bulldogs team, averaging a little over 8 points a game. And here with the ball, we have Gewurz. Gewurz, another amazing player, averaging a little over 10 a game. Let's see these UGA Bulldog players look to get going here in this first half as Bell takes the ball, gets it over to number 7. That will be Dylan Weissman.
No good. The rebound to Drapkin. This is a very important game. The winner moving on to the championship, going to meet a very feisty Columbia team. We just saw them knock off the hometown favorite Maryland team in a tough game. Definitely a lot of talent.
A lot of talent on that Columbia team. They've been interesting to watch as Gewurz knocks down the deep triple. Look to see him get going this first half.
Gewurz knocks down the deep triple. You have to wonder if the Columbia coach is taking some notes. We're sitting right alongside the coach. He's remembering Gewurz as a threat. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. We just saw him pencil him in for a little bit, a little game out there.
Here's
as the ball is
Drapkin looks to get
away.
to the basket, knocked it out of bounds.
And I've heard word that this UGA team under captain Simi Wilson, good family friend of mine. Shout out to the Wilson family out in Toco Hills, Atlanta. But this is a team I heard that they play together in their frat league for the TEP fraternity.
Is that right? We've seen a couple frat teams. I know the Maryland fraternity team fell today. But something about these fraternity teams to me is they're just so tight-knit. They have that bond of living together, of just really doing it all together.
For sure. And as the rebound goes to Josh Isaacs, we look, this is a team, they're sharing the ball. Like you said, that fraternity bond. They're brothers.
They're certainly brothers, and even if the results don't show, they just seem to have a certain spirit about them. Nothing's too daunting. They're calm. They're collected. They know each other very well.
For sure.
As taking it down the court, here we go. Back to Cohen at the top of the key. Thought about it for a second. Can't see exactly who that is just now.
It's Jacob Davis.
Jacob Davis.
Pass is deflected.
Over.
But gets back
Great
on
hustle
defense.
And a tough foul call on Ben Zinker. Hard to say if he was there or not, but ref saw it.
And I'll tell you, this Jacob Davis guy, he's a scrappy player. I mean, a little undersized as a guard in this tournament, especially in the tier one group. But he's a great scrappy player. I played with him back in the Yeshiva Torah Shraga leagues. Shout out to Yeshiva Torah Shraga. So look to see him get going. He loves to slash to the hoop, so you might see him get a few great backdoor cuts. Played his basketball high school with the Ramaz Rams, and now he's out there at Princeton studying computer science. Great kid. Shout out to his family if they're watching. You did a great job raising him.
Did a great job. He's one to shout out the parents.
Yeah,
You got to.
I want, sometimes parents don't get to see what their kids are doing outside of the home, so I want to let them know that they're doing a good job. As we look to see what's going on.
It's Luke Wingren just checked in from the wing, no good.
The ball out to Bell. Bell going to take the ball down the court, looking to push. Bell up top to number 7. That's Dylan Weissman. Weissman looks to make a move. Has the ball out. This guy's ball handler, Weissman. Takes the ball to the hoop, kicks it out, and that is going to be Gewurz with another triple.
You saw Weissman drive to the basket, driving into a couple defenders, and we still saw the corner defender help off Gewurz. I think that's something you're not going to be able to do. Can't help off Gewurz. Seems like a threat from deep. As Princeton still can't get anything to go. Down 8-0 here, a couple minutes into the game.
Gewertz no good on that try, but you know, if I'm UGA Bulldogs, I want to see Gewertz getting hot from 3.
Any shot Gewertz is taking seems like a good shot to me.
That's definitely the sense that I'm getting. And you know, as we watch this game, you know, Donnie, we just got back from the other semifinal game, Maryland versus Columbia. Tell me a little bit about the Columbia team that these guys are going to be facing.
Wow, that Columbia team, well coached. You know, they really run through a guard. Eric Adler, he's been playing some great basketball this tournament. Jesse Spear, defensive anchor, a Brandeis transfer, somebody who we've had the pleasure of watching for a long time. And, you know, they just seem to play team basketball to me. No one guy, makes it very hard to focus on anyone. They're all threats. As we see Princeton's William Cohen knock down a shot to get on the board here. Just 4.5 minutes in. 8-3 Georgia right now. A lot of ball left to be played. Thank you for joining us here in the Ritchie Coliseum for the Tier 1 men's semifinal.
And we see that ball went to Josh Asharian, just checked into the game. Josh Asharian, another great kid who I've had the pleasure of getting to know, of course, this weekend. A transfer from Georgia State. We saw him play his ball there last year.
Is that right? Was he here with the Georgia State team last year?
I guess they couldn't field the team this year, Georgia State, but you know, he's coming now with the UGA Bulldogs. So
really a special opportunity to see some of these schools we don't get to see so frequently. I think we saw Pierce College here.
Pierce College. Where is Pierce College?
I think it's a community college out in California, I believe is what I
heard.
As Gewertz
another triple
down, and that shot was about 5 feet behind the yellow line. That is what we call deep range.
Yeah, I mean, this kid, he's showing that he can shoot it from anywhere. So,
but
you
if
know,
you're
if I'm the
Princeton, you got to make that adjustment. You know, the screens get hedged if they're through him. You always got to have a hand in his face. As Princeton knocks down a shot, I believe that was Ben Zanker.
And I'll tell you, if we know one thing about this Princeton group, they're smart guys.
Listen,
they're smart guys, so I feel like they're going to see that. And I wonder, you know, coming from Princeton, do the analytics play a factor?
Here, we're already seeing them meeting Gewertz a little bit higher up. William Cohen guarding him as a nice back
Bell, a nice finish with the left. I think that was left. Yeah, with the left. Is Bell a lefty? Have we seen?
I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure. Bell looking to be one of the stars of this UGA team, and
as
I'll tell you,
scorer, Drapkin gets it taken away from. Go ahead, Iz.
Here comes Gewertz, inside to Bell. Bell gets fouled, but you know, I'll tell you, this UGA team, no stranger to success. They're around the culture of championship basketball we've seen under Kirby Smart, the UGA football team. You know, they've made an amazing run the past few years, and I wonder if that rubs off on these guys.
You couldn't say it better. Coach Kirby Smart really has a big impact on this Hillel NHBT team. No, but we jest, but this Bulldogs team is off to a great early start, trying to make it through to the championship. I believe 8.5 minutes left, a little bit hard to see from here. Up 13-5.
13-5, and you know, that's thanks to some great playing as Matthew Bell hits the second free throw.
Matthew Bell knocks down the second. Let's see if Drapkin can settle in a little bit here, start to run this offense. He's the leading scorer. Everything runs through him. We're going to need him to get going a little bit if Princeton wants to make a run here.
And that's going to be tough. We see Simi Wilson, star guard, guarding him close up the second he touches the ball. So, you know, this UGA team definitely came prepared to guard Drapkin. They've been looking at him, clearly scouting him out for a little bit.
And maybe it's going to be on the teammates today. William Cohen, like you said, Jacob Davis, some other guards to make some wing plays. Drapkin is obviously the focal point. But, you know, this is a Princeton team they've made it this far. They can certainly play. And they're not going to be fazed by this early deficit.
Oh, for sure not. For sure not. This is a Princeton team that can play. We saw him take on a tough Yeshiva University team last night, led by Ari Schaaf. So, you know, Schaaf was a Tier 1 player last year. He's been here for a long time.
Thomas Wober, I believe that's how you pronounce it, gets to the line. Was that an and one? No,
and one.
Just
yeah.
and one?
And one.
Wow. Thomas Wober averaging almost 7 points this tournament, 6'5". Seems like he's going to be the biggest guy on the court today. Let's see if Princeton maybe can look to play through him a little bit, as maybe some of their guards are struggling to deal with Georgia's guards, both on the offensive and defensive end. Let's see if they can play an advantage with size.
And you see right there, Princeton picks up Gewertz from the green line. I mean, from way up top. They're not taking any chances.
I think it seemed to fluster Gewertz a little bit. You see a dribbling turnover.
Yeah, and I wonder, you know, we've seen a lot of spot-up threes from Gewertz. Let's see what he can do off the dribble here as he takes the ball up.
That's going to be the
Looks
name
for a
of the
Sharian.
game for Princeton, getting Gewartz to dribble the ball. Can't be a comfortable catch-and-shoot shooter. As Matthew Bell looks to drive, spins, gets the
the
roll.
way to go. Matthew Bell, he's been a key to this team. Oh, not Matthew Bell, sorry, that's Carson Bell.
Carson Bell, we apologize, we've been calling you Matthew, you know, but Carson Bell, we're trying to get it right out here, you know.
I'm sure there's a Matthew Bell out there somewhere happy to get a shout out.
Matthew Bell, whoever you are, thank you for tuning in. As Thomas Weber gets it to go.
Thomas Weber, you know, he's a big guy. And, you know, looking at this Princeton team, I'll tell you one thing about Jewish Princeton basketball. Star player from last year's March Madness run, Blake Peters, a proud Jew, played in the Maccabi tournament in Israel.
Is that right, Is?
That's right, and I've heard, you know, insider information from Captain Jacob Davis as Bell can't get the layup and Wilson tries to put it back.
Wilson inside, maybe could have gotten a foul.
Maybe could have gotten a foul, but, you know, I got word from Captain Jacob Davis that they tried to put the recruit on Peters. They wanted to get him out here to the tournament.
As we see William Cohen, I believe, knock down a three. You know, that's pretty interesting. Are Division I players allowed to play in this tournament? I'm not sure.
I don't see why not. I mean,
I don't see why not.
You know, a good amount. I'll tell our viewers. You know, I'm not sure. Yeah, we had Samir Stewart last year.
Yeah, that's correct. But I heard some things this year about some Maryland players being unable to play for the beta team. But you know,
are you talking about Ben Murphy?
I'm talking about Ben Murphy.
Gotcha. For our viewers who aren't aware, some of our good friends in the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. So one of their brothers plays for the University of Maryland basketball team. He might have been playing this tournament, but you know,
in any event, we
have a good amount of Division III players in this tournament.
Certainly some great high caliber players.
A lot of talent.
As we're gonna settle in here, 16-12, 4.5 to go here in the first. Georgia looking to get it to the basket inside.
That's Weissman. Wanted
Can't get
a foul
it to go. Wanted a foul. Good defense by William Cohen guarding. You know, staying in front, even though he got beat, getting back, keeping his hands in the play. As Princeton starting to come alive a little bit, cut this deficit to 4. Oh, taken away.
Who is that? That's number 8, Aaron Perchekli.
Perchekli can't get it to go. Rebound Weber. And Princeton looks like they could have a counter break here. Georgia a little slow getting back.
And
that's
the
charge
to Weissman.
And you know, sometimes it's pretty clear, you know, just a directionless drive, got beat to the spot. Pretty easy call for the refs to make.
And I'll tell you, nothing gets the boys going like a good charge.
Oh, nothing quite like it. To put your body on the line, nothing says I'm a teammate quite like taking a charge.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Simmy Wilson and Harry Gewartz getting excited out there on the bench for that charge. So yeah, it's been
you know, since Gewartz has gone to the bench, we haven't seen a lot of offense from this Georgia team. I'm wondering if his shooting has been a focal point. You know, it's keeping everybody else, their defender, a little bit more honest and taking pressure off of everyone. We'll see if they can get something to go without him here.
100%, and I think to do that, they'll definitely be looking towards Carson Bell.
Wow, as Cohen knocks down a contested corner 3 to cut this to a 1-point game. Oh. Sit tight, we are definitely in for something here in the Ritchie Coliseum. As Georgia brings up the ball, looking to push on the wing.
Over to 7, that's going to be Dylan Weissman. Dylan Weissman looks to put the moves on him. So elbow jumper, the in and out, inside, a little pivot. Gets it, the pass.
Whoa, a very nice cut there from number 6. I'm not sure exactly who that was.
Number 6, that's going to be Josh Isaacs.
An excellent job moving without the basketball.
An excellent job moving with the basketball. And, you know, like we said, the chemistry there, the passing, you know, that's something that only comes amongst brothers of a fraternity.
You know, playing pickup together, maybe playing intramurals together. They just have the hours. As Weber can't get it to go from 3.
Rebound to Isaacs. Nice little both ends play for Josh Isaacs. Is there a Josh Isaacs in the league?
I think you're thinking of Jonathan Isaacs.
Jonathan Isaacs.
Maybe Jonathan Isaac. I don't know if it's Isaacs.
I don't know if that was a charge. Looked like
maybe got away with a little bit of an arm extension. Maybe that's what the refs are seeing there.
I am thinking of Jonathan Isaacs, though. Magic legend.
Magic, certainly a defensive player.
Remember,
he can stay healthy a little bit.
Out of Kansas, he was. I thought he was going to be a stud in the league.
Definitely a talented wing defender, just can't seem to stay healthy.
Yeah.
As
So it's tough to
Princeton
see
here, Cohen, pump fake, might have got away with a little walk, but he
Ooh.
gets another one to
The
go.
pump fake, got a Sherian jump in, but
You know,
got
the
that
players
three to
seem
go.
to be liking this Ritchie court. Sometimes players say they have a tougher time shooting here than Armory, but it seems like the shooters are shooting today.
Shooters are shooting.
Maybe
and,
I spoke a little too soon, a
and
little
as you
strong
say, shooters
there.
are shooting. We see Harry Gourds has come back into the game. That should be a key
Yeah.
factor.
Should be a key factor. Cohen seems to be heating up for Princeton. Knotted up at 18 with 56 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, these are a couple of good teams. We're in for a treat today watching some good basketball.
Watching some good hoops. Coming up next, we got the Tier 2 championship. Wash U team led by Zev Reamer facing off a hometown Maryland team.
Oh, that
should be a nice
good
one. Part of a full day slate here at NHBT in the Ritchie Coliseum.
Stay tuned in for this NHBT full day slate.
Can't
We've got
ask
some
for
amazing
more.
basketball to watch, and you know, we could talk a little bit considering amazing basketball. Also, the Sarachek tournament this weekend. Do you think that there's a conflict for some parents in terms of watching both of those tournaments?
You know, it's got to be difficult for some parents. I'm sure the high school kids, their players get a little bit of a preference between, you know, if you've got a child playing in both tournaments, you know, maybe you want to go to the Sarachek. But, you know, either way, live streaming options for both. Certainly a lot of ball to watch if you're parents over the weekend. Even if you're not, as we'll settle in here.
We'll see 10 seconds left as Weissman gets in the lane, and oh, the soft
get it to
touch.
go.
Won't finish.
Thought it would
5
go
seconds
down.
left. Coming down the court.
Drapkin. Good if it goes. Oh, can't get it to fall as it's 18-18 going into the half. Stick around. We will be right back.
Masa Israel Journey is the leading organization for immersive opportunities in Israel. If you're looking to study, to work, to intern in Israel, to live like a local, Masa has a program for you. We were preparing to celebrate 20 years of Masa when October 7th changed everything. With our new reality in place, we transformed the Masa experience to answer the question we received from all corners of the Jewish world. What can we do now? Our answer? Join a Masa program and become part of Israel's story of resilience. We invite you to give back as a Masa volunteer, intern at an Israeli company with Masa Career, study as a Masa academic fellow, and so much more. Discover the beauty of living like a local and being part of Israeli society.
Ensuring security and safety in our organization is a top priority.
We have relationships with key security offices in the state of Israel.
If a security situation occurs, the communication channel between Masa, the program organizers, and the fellows will receive updated information with security briefings.
Your journey is waiting for you to start. So why wait? Join us and come to Israel with Masa. Masa Israel Journey is the leading organization for immersive opportunities in Israel. If you're looking to study, to work, to intern in Israel, to live like a local, Masa has a program for you. We were preparing to celebrate 20 years of Massa when October 7th changed everything. With our new reality in place, we transformed the Massa experience to answer the question we received from all corners of the Jewish world. What can we do now? Our answer? Join a Massa program and become part of Israel's story of resilience. We invite you to give back as a Massa volunteer, intern at an Israeli company with Massa career, study as a Massa academic fellow, and so much more. Discover the beauty of living like a local and being part of Israeli society.
Ensuring security and safety in our organization is a top priority.
We have relationships with key security offices in the State of Israel.
If a security situation occurs, the communication channel between Massa, the program organizers, and the fellows will receive updated information with security briefings.
Your journey is waiting for you to start. So why wait? Join us and come to Israel with Massa. Massa Israel Journey is the leading organization for immersive opportunities in Israel. If you're looking to study, to work, to intern in Israel, to live like a local, Massa has a program for you. We were preparing to celebrate 20 years of Massa when October 7th changed everything. With our new reality in place, we transformed the Massa experience to answer the question we received from all corners of the Jewish world. What can we do now? Our answer? Join a Massa program and become part of Israel's story of resilience. We invite you to give back as a Massa volunteer, intern at an Israeli company with Massa career, study as a Massa academic fellow, and so much more. Discover the beauty of living like a local and being part of Israeli society.
Ensuring security and safety in our organization is a top priority.
We have relationships with key security offices in the State of Israel.
If a security situation occurs, the communication channel between Massa, the program organizers, and the fellows will receive updated information with security briefings.
Your journey is waiting for you to start. So why wait? Join us and come to Israel with Massa. Massa Israel Journey is the leading organization for immersive opportunities in Israel. If you're looking to study, to work, to intern in Israel, to live like a local, Massa has a program for you. We were preparing to celebrate 20 years of Massa when October 7th changed everything. With our new reality in place, we transformed the Massa experience to answer the question we received from all corners of the Jewish world. What can we do now? Our answer.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to NHBT Basketball, streamed live on ESPN 8, The Ocho.
The Ocho, home of some interesting sports, you know, getting you all the action around the league.
Getting you all the action as we tune into National Hillel Basketball Tournament. Looks like it's going to be Simi Wilson taking up the ball for the Bulldogs. Shout out to the Wilson family out in Toco Hills, Atlanta, Georgia. As Wilson,
as Gewartz cuts back door instantly, you saw the defense hyper-focused on Gewartz, the shooter. Did not focus on the back cut from Gewartz. Gets to the cup, gets fouled. They're going to say it's on the ground. Looked like a shooting foul to me, but, you know,
looked like an acrobatic layup attempt from Gewartz. But
if you're a Princeton fan, you'll take it. As here's Bell getting to the basket, getting inside, gets the foul call. I don't know. Tough to get calls like that driving into two, but I guess the ref saw something on the arm.
Must have been.
And that's going to be on the ground also, somehow.
Maybe there's a rule that we're missing.
I don't know.
The ball outside to Bell.
Here's Bell. Gewartz setting the screen. Bell for Wilson.
Over to Gewartz. Gewartz, he'll look to take the step back. Won't shoot it, though. Over to Wilson. Wilson back to Bell. Bell over to number 3. That's going to be back to Bell. Bell the corner. Bang!
Bang as the Bulldogs knock down a 3 right out of the half. You know, three-point shooting was the key to the first half. Gawartz was the main shooter, but Bell getting involved. He's been involved inside a little bit. I believe that's his first three of the game. But
First three of the game for
clearly
Carson
still a
Bell.
threat. As Drapkin on the wing, looking to attack. Gets to his spot, kicks to Davis, out on the wing, drives to the cup. Foul inside. Davis going to go to the line for two. Princeton looking to get on the board to start this second half as we are just 2 minutes in.
Just 2 minutes in, we got a lot of action left for you guys.
Got a lot of action left in this ball game.
And we've got Jacob Davis here at the line, a computer science major. You know, I wonder if there's any key tips from computer science that he's taken and brought into the game of basketball. You're a computer science major, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the most applicable to basketball, but I'm sure he's definitely learned to be calm under the moment, under pressure.
100%. As Carson Bell, some nice dribble moves over to Wilson. Wilson looks to get the pass over to Caston. Caston fakes the pass. Little mid-range jumper for Caston won't go.
As that fake dribble handoff from the big man has become a very popular move throughout basketball recently. We saw Caston get an open look there. Here comes Drapkin the other way, pulls up around the free throw line, no good.
And again, Drapkin's a guy that if Princeton wants to win, they're going to need to see him get going.
Yeah, they're going to need to see Drapkin get going a little bit more. Their leading scorer throughout the tournament. As Bell feeling it a little bit, can't get it to go from around 14 feet. Here comes Drapkin the other way. But if you're Drapkin, try to get to the basket a little bit, try to get to the foul line, get yourself going. Here he goes.
The lateral quickness.
The lateral quickness is apparent. You know, you wonder if you're Drapkin, if you almost don't want that to get called. You know, you beat him off the dribble. They call that touch foul. If you're Drapkin, you know, you're looking at the basket thinking, I've got an open layup. Either way, still inbounding from the baseline. Nice play for Weber, and he'll go to the line for two.
Weber, wonder if he's related to Chris Weber, another legendary big man.
Another legendary big man, but I believe he spells his name differently.
I did see the resemblance, though.
Other than that, they could be twins.
Exactly. As he looks to take the first shot. That one will go.
Gets it to go.
Wonder what percentage he shoots from the line. Seems like he's got a nice stroke. We've seen him take some threes throughout this game. So,
and certainly a shooting big man at this level is not a given. You know, for Weber to have nice touch like that is certainly a big plus for Princeton.
Truly, truly. And I mean, even a big man is not a given here at NHPT.
Even a big man is not a given. You know, we've seen a lot of teams choosing to adapt a small ball style without a big man. As Weber making his presence felt inside.
Here comes Bell out to a Sharian for the three. Won't go.
A little long. Rebound chased down by William Cohen. Cohen looking to push for Drapkin. Drapkin thought about it. Back to Cohen. Cohen on the wing. For Drapkin in the corner. Drapkin pump fake to the basket. Here's Weber. Into the corner for Cohen. Cohen, one dribble pull up is good from the wing. About an 18-footer from Cohen. And you know, Cohen has really been a stable shooter. He's been getting a little more comfortable, settling in. I believe Princeton's leading scorer today,
He is the game's leading scorer today with 14.
Wow, the game's leading scorer. How many does Gawartz have, or Bell? As Gawartz from way downtown.
Bell has 8. He is the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. I mean, we saw Gawartz hit a couple threes, so we know he's got at least 6.
Gawartz a couple threes. Seems like he has more. Certainly the attention that they've had to give to Gawartz has been a factor for the Bulldogs. But
and that creates space for guys like Bell.
Certainly. But Princeton now getting off to their first lead, up by 4. Bell kicks it out. Corner. No good. Seems like Georgia is living and dying by the 3. Gone a little cold here, allowed Princeton to get back into it. Drapkin slowing it down on the wing.
This was a 10-point lead, let's remember, at the beginning of the first half for the Bulldogs. And, you know, coming into the second half, we now have Princeton up 6. So it's a game of runs.
You know, as Drapkin gets that to fall from the free throw line, you have to admire the way they've stayed calm. They've taken what's come their way. Drapkin hasn't had an electrifying scoring day, but he's provided as the Bulldogs smoke the layup.
That's Weissman missed the layup, but I mean he's got a knack for getting to the hoop this
Certainly
game.
has been a shifty player so far today. You know, if you're the Bulldogs, maybe a timeout soon, slow things down if Princeton can get another bucket here. As Cohen on a beautiful cut, and here is the timeout.
We knew that. We knew that
You
timeout
know,
was
you
coming
had
here.
to know it was coming. Just a little bit of unfocused play from Georgia, biting out too many fakes.
I mean, coming out of this timeout, I would look for them to try and get some kind of off-ball screen for Gewirtz, see if he can knock down a three.
You know, to me, I think they got into it a little bit. I like Gewirtz as a screener for Bell. Put your two best guys into some action together, rub the defenders, make them make a switch, get an advantageous touch for Gewirtz, who's a shooter, or Bell as a driver.
I would maybe look to Dylan Weissman as the driver with Bell setting the screen. So you get Bell cutting, you got Weissman, who's the
And
game
you could
leader in
have-
assists right
of
now,
course.
and you could have Gewirtz in the corner. He could get he can get an open look from there. So maybe that's something that they might try and dry up. I'm excited to see.
I'm excited to see if they can draw up something, settle it down, start to, we've seen Bell kind of running the show and Weissman, like you talked about, as the primary ball handler, dribbling, leads the game in assists right now. I would love to see him continue to be a floor general, kind of get back to Gewirtz getting some open looks. I don't know if he has any shot attempts this half.
Gewirtz, I think he had the 1-3.
Maybe a deep three-point attempt, probably a sign that he's getting a little antsy, wants some nice looks. And I think when he was getting those looks in the first half, we saw a Georgia team that was playing in rhythm. They were off to a big lead. Princeton committed to running Gewirtz off the line, and that's really how they've gotten back into the game.
For sure. And talk to me a little bit about, what's gotten this Princeton team's run going.
For this Princeton team today, I think it's really all started with William Cohen, their second leading scorer throughout the tournament. He's been a knockdown shooter from deep. We saw him hit a pull-up. And also on the other side of that, we've seen Weber's size start to play a little bit of a factor here. We had that baseline screen play, Weber at the free throw line.
100%. And I mean, this Bulldogs team, a little small.
A little bit small.
No quite true big man.
I don't know if I would say, relative to the positions, the guys aren't so small, but they lack a true big. And, I think Weber is starting to get a little bit of momentum as here we go with...
Here comes Weissman. Weissman looks to get the cut from Gewirtz. Gewirtz the screen for Bell. In comes Bell. Bell looked to work around the hoop. Little fadeaway. Will go.
Little fadeaway, just short. I like that look from Bell. Get a little positioning inside on a smaller matchup.
And what I love seeing on that play was what we talked about in the timeout. Those few off-ball screens was something that we wanted to see.
But, I think as Georgia goes into a little bit of a zone here, I think this is kind of interesting. We saw Princeton push it just now. They got slowed down ultimately. Here's Drapkin to the corner for Cohen. I just almost feel like as Cohen gets the shot attempt, no good there, but I almost feel like with the way that Cohen's been shooting it and the way that Weber's been rebounding, is this 2-3 really going to be the answer here with the last 5 minutes? Cohen's going to have a lot of looks. You're going to have a tough time getting bodies on Weber. As Weber gets the rebound and he gets to the line.
Yeah, I mean, a soft foul there, I would
soft
say,
foul, but
for a big guy like Weber. But, we've seen it that UGA just has no answer for Weber's size.
No answer for his size. I really think that, going to the 2-3 is going to continue to be, I don't know. We'll see if it plays out well. Obviously, these guys know each other a little bit better than I do. As we have, I believe, 8 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the second half. Princeton out to a double-digit lead almost out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, a quiet burst from Princeton, and they could be setting up an Ivy League championship.
That's
Princeton
really a
and Columbia.
storyline nobody's been speaking about. Truly student athletes as Bell gets to the basket for a layup.
A nice move by Bell. He's silky smooth,
Silky
like the Zohan
smooth.
there. Silky smooth.
One dribble from the corner, like the Zohan.
100%. I wonder if he's going to get a nice cold glass of fizzy bubbly after this game.
He certainly deserves it. The way he's been playing as
Weber
Weber
tries to get the charge.
tries to get the charge, maybe embellished it a little bit.
And here comes Weissman. Weissman looks to push. Slows it down, though, as he gets into the half court.
Almost halfway through the second half, more than halfway through the second half.
Step back for
Gewirtz,
Gewirtz.
my goodness.
Wow.
And you can see why he's looking for his own shot. And hopefully that can get them going. As I was saying, just over halfway through the second half, they only have 8 points right now, only 5 before that possession. Let's see if that three from Gawartz
And
can get them going.
we haven't quite seen Gawartz get into his bag, try and look for his own. And I think that play was sort of starting to see a little bit of that trend coming into play, with Gawartz looking to get some himself.
As Drabkin nifty behind the back and then finishes with the left. Drabkin's starting to get going a little bit, but you got to stop ball with Gawartz. Has a little hesitation there, thought about it. You know, he's definitely looking to shoot.
Definitely looking to shoot as he gets the ball back from Bell. Eyes what's going on here as he gets the screen from Asharian, takes it to the rim. Little reverse layup won't go, but he gets the foul there.
And you know, Gawartz now putting the ball on the deck. Princeton starting to run him off the line. He puts it on the deck comfortably, goes to the basket, gets to the line for two. But the only thing about these foul situations is it's counterintuitive to your classic basketball, right? With the clock not stopping, this is not the opportunity for the Bulldogs that it normally is. They're not
100%.
scoring with the clock stopped, you know? And they got to be mindful of that, I think, to be quick with these substitutions.
I think that's a really interesting point that you bring up. I hadn't even thought about it, but, you lose, say, 15 to 20 seconds just from free throws. So, if you're down here and you're
Georgia
Gawartz,
gets the rebound and puts it back.
the rebound and put back for, was that Caston? Let's look. What number? No, that wasn't Caston. That was Isaacs. Josh Isaacs.
Isaacs just checking in for the Bulldogs, I believe. He's checking Drabkin on the wing right now. Now Cohen after the switch. Cohen crosses over, hands to Drabkin on the wing. They're just going right at Isaac right now, switching back and forth. Drabkin in for Weber. He'll get a post touch. As Cohen swings up top, gets the screen. Nice simple play, open look.
Another one for Cohen. They've got no answer for
No
Mr. Cohen.
answer for Mr. Cohen right now. As Gawartz tries one, can't get it to go. And that's a quick look right there from Gawartz. I know he's looking for his shot, but, starting to feel a little bit late. Only 5 minutes left, double-digit game.
You need to stop here if you're the Bulldogs.
Need
You
to stop here, but, you can't panic. Still plenty of time as Drabkin is left alone. Gets right to the basket, lays it in with the left. Princeton up by 13 here with 5 minutes to go.
We've got some Princeton, looks like some Princeton parents up in the crowd. Happy to see that. Maybe an aunt and uncle from the area, or maybe he's from the area. I'm not sure, but definitely some fans for this Princeton squad.
As Gawartz can't get it to go, Drabkin taking his time getting this across half court. Certainly starting to slow into the offense, not in a rush, up by 13. No shot clock, takes some time. Yeah, that's going to be an offensive foul. I thought Weber used his arm a little bit to extend.
Yeah, and I mean, Weber's a powerful guy.
Weber is certainly a big guy on this court.
Gawartz gets it over to Weissman. Weissman drives.
Drives on Davis. Davis right there. Weissman looked like he wanted a foul, a little bit frustrated. I thought Davis was right there, sliding his feet well. Weissman
100%.
picking up Drabkin full court, not wanting him to get comfortable here late, as Princeton not in a rush whatsoever. Here's Drabkin into the corner. Has a foul on the ground.
And I mean, when it comes to scoring in this second half, I mean, UGA's offense has just been a little stagnant.
It's been a little bit stagnant. I think
even 7 points in this second half for the Bulldogs.
just a lack of direction. And, I think for Georgia, it wasn't any one play that this game slipped away. It was a grindy game, but, we looked up a couple minutes ago, and Princeton was out to a double-digit lead almost out of nowhere.
Almost out of, you don't even notice it happening as a score right now. We're looking at the scoreboard 41-28 with a little over 3 minutes to go. And, coming out, Georgia got up to an early lead off of some hot shooting from Gawartz. And, they sort of got away from that strategy. We saw a little less from Gawartz moving out into the beginning of the second half, and we've seen him get going a little bit towards the end of the second half. What do you think about that?
I mean, even with the way he's been getting going in the second half here a little bit, looking to create his own shot, I think in the first half when they jumped up to that lead, Gawartz was really a secondary option, catch and shoot three-point shooter, having his team create the looks for him, take the attention off, and he's just such a threat from there that you almost just want him standing still, You don't want him to be putting the ball on the deck, letting everyone double him. And he almost puts more pressure on the defense when he's standing in one spot. You got to leave one guy there.
And he takes him out of the picture.
Takes him out of the picture. As opposed to when he's dribbling, a talented dribbler, talented shot creator, but you know, you can switch and this and that. He's moving around. You don't feel like your guy's just out of the play almost.
Exactly. We see out there on the court right now, Elliot Sokol, University of Maryland Terrapin. But from Atlanta, he's out there with his Atlanta boys. Giving up some chizuk for the rest of this game.
Elliot's going to be playing right after this in the Tier 2 championship. A Maryland team taking on a talented team of Wash U players with some friends. Zev Reamer doesn't attend Wash U, but certainly a star player for Wash U.
I mean, he played his high school ball with Jack Resin, another star player,
another
Jacob
star
Popsky,
player,
another star player from that team. So, you know,
Potsky
a Wash U Bears shall have a Firehawks combination there.
Certainly. Potsky not going to be playing in the later game. He's headed back already.
And I guess thinking about the later games, what are some of your thoughts going into this championship game if we do see a Princeton versus Columbia matchup?
You know, going into this championship game, I think there's one thing on everybody's mind. It's the size of Columbia versus Princeton. You know, this is, you know, we've talked about Weber's size a lot today or in this game. But, you know, against Columbia, they've got some very tall guys. Jesse Spear measuring in, you know, 6'6", 6'7". But, you know, even the starting guard, Eric Adler, he's around 6 feet tall.
We watched that game earlier.
We watched that game. A true
Adler
floor
hit,
general.
what, 6 threes in the first half?
6 threes in the first half. I believe he had 26 points. And it
was
just seems
insane.
like Columbia's on a mission right now.
Columbia, they're like the Huskies, UConn Huskies in March Madness. They've just been, you know,
They've
running
been
through
world
this
beaters.
tournament.
You know, we saw Jesse last night in a star matchup with YU ball player
Dotan Bardichev.
And Dotan was, you know, he was reflecting about how good Jesse is, you know.
And Jesse, you know, he doesn't play basketball for the Columbia Lions, but he is a collegiate basketball player. He played his ball last year at
Brandeis.
In the UAA Conference Division III. That's arguably and considered by most to be the best conference in Division III. So he's no stranger to good competition like this guy Weber will be.
Personally, to me, just having seen Jesse this weekend, I think he's had enough of people telling him, oh, you ran away from D3 ball. You know, I think he's here on a mission. You know,
I hear you.
He's saying, you know, I made my call. I wanted to stop playing ball. But that doesn't mean you could talk about me like that. You know, I'm still Jesse. I'm still the man. And I think that's maybe what we'll see from Columbia later. Definitely going to be a great game. Looking like it's going to be against Princeton. As with just under 2 minutes left, Princeton up by 11.
Another star for that Columbia team is Caleb Holzhauer.
Caleb
We
Holzhauer.
watched him this turn. We watched him last. Oh, we didn't watch him last year. He was hurt last year, but he also is a Division III caliber talent.
And you know, he can catch fire at any second. I believe, you know, he's hitting threes left and right.
And he's, you know, he is a strong player. He's a shooter.
Strong player.
It's really all around a great Columbia team.
All
you know,
around.
We can talk about
1
Andrew
through
Stein's
5.
three-point shooting. He's been great.
1 through 5, fantastic. And I think, you know, their bench brings some energy.
And for sure. With
you
Alicia
know,
Baker.
a
and,
well-coached ball club, that's also very hard for these teams to stop. You know, you're dealing with
100%.
some sets.
I mean, they were running in warm-up some inbounds plays. And, you know, maybe I think some of these teams probably come in with maybe one inbounds play. You got to have an inbounds play. But, you know, even past inbounds plays, they were running lots of different sets. And this Maryland team, you know, they're a club, like, they play together in intramurals, but they weren't quite ready for the sets type of action. Yeah,
not quite to the caliber that Columbia was producing.
As Drapkin's going to dribble this one out.
Drapkin's going to dribble this one out. We've had a great game here. Princeton going to be moving on to the championship, as it looks like they're just going to call it early, not even going to bother dribbling it out.
I mean, who wants to sit here for an extra 28 seconds?
An extra 28 seconds, you know, me and you could have been on the mic.
I would have loved to spend that 28 seconds with you, but cut short here. And Donnie, it's been a pleasure.
Izzy, it's been a pleasure.
Love
Signing off.
Signing off here. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you at the championship.
See you soon.